Hello, hello, and welcome. My name is Mini Betrayal, and this is Factorio Railyards. So, since the end of the last episode, I've actually done a fair amount of work. It's all been kind of busy work, stuff that would be boring to watch anyway. But I have finished off the northern wall, so we are now no longer getting attacks around there. So I've brought this back a little bit, mostly because with the wall here, whenever it defended an attack, it was close enough to the base to aggro a little bit of the base, and then they would come and attack, and then it would aggro, and then they would come and attack. So I've brought that back a little bit. I've gone around that copper deposit in case I want to go and get it later, and there was a base sort of where this wall joins, but I've destroyed that base. What else? Okay, I have... yes, I finished off the gear rail yard. I haven't set it up yet, but everything is there. Also, I have put down a little logistics network on my main base. So, you know, obviously I will be able to get some stuff delivered to me. But what I've done here, I've got a little setup over here that what it does, this is a constant combinator, which contains in it everything I need to make a rail yard. I think. I may have to tweak it later. This is a requester chest and some steel chests and a combinator there. Essentially what this is it's a complicated requester chest, because what I need doesn't fit in a single chest. But with this setup here, what it does is it gathers everything it needs, and then when I'm ready to make another rail yard, this light turns on. So if I just hover over this pole here, if you look on the right, the red signal is what I have left. So I still need another 19 roboports, and I'm a little... I've got a little more than I need for everything else there, because they're all negative numbers. And then the green signal is what I already have. So once this is complete and the light turns on, all of the red numbers will be negative, and all of the green numbers should match or be above what is in this constant combinator. Anyway, let's start by asking the usual question of where's my car. It's down here. We will go to the gear rail yard and we will get that set up to actually start making some gears. Okay, here we are. So, obviously we need to get all of these and tell them to please make gears. There we go. Okay, so everything has its recipe set. We also need to go to the constant combinator, which I had to move to get it to fit. But we need to tell the constant combinator what to request. So it will request iron plates, and we'll say... I will say 500 because it's a nice number. And then down here at the output station, we need to tell these guys what to request. These guys will be requesting gears, and I'll say 500 there as well. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. Then we need to hook the input rails, that is, to the output of the iron station. Whoops. Whoops. Okay. So the trains come in on this side, and we want to bring these rails down to the output of the iron smelting rail yard. Okay, I misjudged the distance a little bit there. If this cliff up here is not in the way, I might... Yeah, I should be able to shift those rails across a little bit, just to make this a bit neater over here. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now we've already got 2 trains here. Let's set up some schedules. So, the schedules are quite simple at the moment. I may complicate them a little later, but for now I just want them to go to iron drop-off until they are full, and then to Oh, no. That's wrong. We want to go to iron pickup until they are full. And then to iron drop off at the gear outpost. I'm just thinking maybe I should put an indicator in the station name which one they... it was an indicator in the station name which rail yard they belong to, because if I need to deliver plates to somewhere else, maybe I will want to specify which one they go to, and if they're just called iron drop off, it will only go to the nearest one. For now though, I will just do that. So which one? So copy and paste, and then let's set them to automatic. Okay, I will need to go and grab some bots. Set that to manual. And let's put some signals in. Whoops. Okay, so now I've got the signals in. It should be that all I need is to put some bots into this gear rail yard, and then that will be good to go. So let's try that and make sure it works. Okay, here we are. Need to be a bit closer and go. I just realised this is not actually hooked up correctly. That needs to be hooked up to that one. There we go. Yeah, I think I had it hooked up to where it was supposed to be telling the train, or it was hooked up to a place that was supposed to tell trains what to be fueled with. But the trains aren't being fueled at this particular rail yard. Anyway, that is now working. So we'll keep an eye on it. What's power like, by the way? So we're using about half of what we can make, and half of that is going on to my laser turret draw. But yeah, we're using about 90 to 100 megawatts. That's not too bad. Okay. Right, so according to the little light, we are not quite ready to make another rail yard, but all we're actually missing is the what are they called? Roboports. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, I don't have nearly enough inventory space on me, so let me just dump a bunch of stuff that I don't need, or that I don't particularly want anyway. Get rid of that, get rid of them. Don't need the lights. Okay, that should be enough. And then if I turn off that constant combinator just for a second, grab all of that stuff. Oh, I didn't dump enough apparently. Don't need pumps, and I don't need substations. And I need to get rid of one more stack. I don't need green wire. There we go. Okay, then I'll turn that back on. That will cause a flurry of activity in my main base to get ready for the next rail yard. And then, as I mentioned, I'm going to do rail yards in the same sort of order I would for a normal base. So, once you've got iron and copper smelting, and then you have gears, the next thing you want to do is red science, right? So, let's make a red science rail yard. Okay, so I have somewhere a blueprint, and we're just going to plonk it down. Oh, there was a tree in the way apparently. Okay, so yeah, we just have to stand and wait for this to get built. I should have everything on me. Okay, I think that's everything apart from this last row of, I think it's 8. Oh, it says 9. I'm missing an arithmetic combinator. Why am I missing an arithmetic combinator? Anyway, let me hook it up to power. Okay, we're hooked up to power, which should stop the flashing. At least once the RoboPorts have charged up, that should stop the flashing. Now, there's a couple of other tweaks I want to make, because at the moment, you'll see that these are unfiltered, which isn't so bad for things like plates, unlimited, by the way, not unfiltered. Not so bad for plates and gears, but coming to red science, that is a hell of a lot of red science to just have as a buffer. In fact, it is a hell of a lot of gears and plates, so I might come back to that. But I want a way of limiting it. Now, of course, I could just go like that for every passive provider chest there, which will limit it to 1 stack, but I would like it to be configurable per rail yard, like I did with the constant combinators, so I can set their requests. I should also be able to set like how much can it have as a buffer. So let me figure out a way of doing that, and then I will get back to you. And I'm missing a power pole up there apparently. Okay, so I've come up with a system that I think will work. We'll need to check it. But essentially, so let's zoom in on a pair of assemblers here. So at the moment they're requesting, and the requester is set from this red network that gets highlighted. You can see so this wire is part of it, that wire is part of it, that wire is part of it. So that's how the requests are set. And then they are each output into a passive provider chest. Now what I've done is I have hooked up all of the inserters to a green network. So all of the inserters that put materials from the assembler into the passive provider, they're all hooked up to a green network, which is hooked up to this constant combinator over here. Then, within each pair, these two inserters are connected with a red cable to each other and to the passive provider chest, which is set to read its contents. Then, each inserter has an enabled condition only if everything is less than, or I suppose I should put less than or equal to, A. I've just changed that to less than or equal to, so I'll have to go and change all of those conditions. But then what I can do, if I say A is, I don't know, 50, then as this is making red science packs, this inserter will only take them out of this assembler and put them in there if everything on both the green and the red networks is less than or equal to A. So I don't believe it checks against itself anyway, but A is less than or equal to A, and if the red science packs are less than or equal to 50 in this case, then it will continue. As soon as it reaches 51, the inserter will turn off and nothing will happen. So, yeah, I need to go and set all of the conditions again. Well, I say set all of the conditions. Let's start in one corner and then we'll just copy and paste them. So, everything is less than or equal to A, copy, paste, copy, paste, 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 copy, paste, 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 all the way down there. Paste, paste, copy, paste, 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 paste. Okay, that should now work. So this rail yard, I won't set it up yet. Let me just think if there's any more tweaks I want to make, and then I will set this as my new blueprint. In fact, I know there's a couple more tweaks I want to make, because if you remember, I forgot to put signals on the output lines. Oh, there's a wall missing over there. Okay, I don't know if there are any more tweaks I want to make, but what I am going to do, just to test, that's the wrong button, just to test to see if the idea is working, if I get rid of everything except inserters there, so I'll just copy the inserters into a blueprint. Let's put this blueprint down on top of my new gear rail yard and see if we can limit how many gears are being made. Okay, so that's the wrong button again. Let's get that blueprint and pop it down there. Okay, now at the moment there is no A. It's true when there are no inputs, so maybe because there is no A, it's setting everything to true. Let's put in the constant combinator. Oh, I need to make a constant combinator first. And set A equal to 50. And hook that up. Okay, they all seem to be working still. So then what we'll do, just to test it, no, it won't work if A is 0. Let's set A to 1, and we should see, no. Okay, I think it is working. Now, for some reason, and I don't know why, the red wires connecting each pair of inserters didn't copy across. So I'll put those in again. Okay, yeah, so you can see here we've got... Never mind. You can see here we've got a chest with 2 gears in it, and the 2 inserters were off. So, if you don't know this already, zoom right in there. There's a little green light that means the inserter is enabled, which I think only shows up if it is connected to a circuit network. And then if I can find an example... Oh, I saw an example and then it went away. Let's just do this. I've got gears there. Okay, this one here has more than 2 gears in it, and we get a little red light. Okay, so let's set A back to 50, because that's a more reasonable number. Okay. We should probably do the same for the plates as well, come to think of it. But anyway, we need to set the recipes in the red science rail yard. Okay, so this rail yard, as things come in, we've got 2 different materials. So we're going to have item equals, and what are they? They're called automation science pack. Yep. So that's the name of the rail yard, and then we'll have item equals iron gear, that's not how you spell gear, wheel drop off. And let's see, we will have this as a fueling rail yard. Okay, and yeah, blue is a good color for that. Let's pinch the color from a copper station, so copy paste, but then we'll rename this to item equals automation science pack, and then this one will be an item equals copper plate drop off with fuel. Okay, and then down here, actually let's do it in order. So that brings the items in to the rail yard. Then over on this side we have our combinators. So this top combinator says what do we want each of these requesters to request. So let's say 100 gears and 100 plates. Makes sense. And yeah, let's leave a buffer of 50 in each one. It's still actually quite a massive buffer because there's a lot of chests there. But anyway, then it wants to come down here and we want to, let's see, I'd like to be able to fill a train quickly, so I should think about this. So a train wagon has 40 slots in it. These guys, so we've got 12 of them. So 40 divided by 12 is what, 3 and a bit? Yeah, so if I, let's do it properly. So 40 divided by 12 is 3 1/3. So 3 1/3 stacks of red science packs. Red science packs stacked to 200. So 3 stacks would be 600. A third would be 67. Okay, so then each of these will request 3 1/3 stacks, so when the train arrives, it'll be able to fill the train quickly. And then the stations themselves, let's make them red for red science packs. And it will be called item equals, not red, automation science pack pickup. And this may as well be a fueling station as well. Copy, paste. Okay, so we need 2 trains. One will be going to the gear rail yard, one will be going to the plate rail yard. So trains 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you not copy? Okay, we'll copy these colors. And then this train will go to gear pickup until it's full, and then the red science gear drop off until it's empty. And because this is a fueling station, and 5 seconds of inactivity. Okay, and then this one will be quite similar, but it will go to a plate pickup until it's full, and then the plate drop off until it's empty. And we don't actually need to make this one here a fueling station, because this is getting fueled at the other end. So there you go. Alright, so then all that remains is to set these recipes, red science. Then we just need to hook it up and get things delivered. However, that will have to wait for next episode. In the meantime, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.